I want to talk a minute about phone hacking, mainly because it's been a problem and a pattern in my situation with regards to not just my case with Tiara, my daughter, but also with other people that I saw that were involved in cases in law enforcement, which is why this is so relevant. I had a situation where I had my maintenance guy I had to make a report about something that was damaged in my apartment. It wasn't anything bad. It was just, wear and tear type stuff. And so when I called him and left a message with both him and the manager, when he came to fix the problem, he told me that he'd been calling and calling me, and he was glad he had my new number now. Well, I have the old number still. The problem is, I saw this happen with a case in Waterville when the police were trying to serve my son with papers for a case that were an assault case, and only one of the people had been served. But the police officer, my son said the police officer told him that he kept calling and calling his phone and not getting anything, and so he was lucky that he happened to run into him in order to serve him with the papers so he could go to the trial. The people wound up pleading out, but still, it was a red flag, along with other things that I saw at the campsite, where this girl, Brandy, and Corey, they're the ones that were involved, had also made it Amazon. They changed the GPS on my Amazon, and Amazon told me when they were delivering me the package. I knew Brandy had done it because she sat there and all but said she did it. So again, there's no confusion here. So when the maintenance guy comes back and tells me that he'd been trying to call me, I went and looked on my phone to see if he was on my caller ID, and he was not. Now, this is not somebody that's going to lie or tell me misinformation. I just happened to see the pattern because of what happened in Waterville. I might have not even known that this was a thing until unless I had seen that situation with my own two eyes. But we've got a whole bunch of things going on here legally where people might have done that with my phone, the one that that he was trying to call. So I have a different number, and I've had that number for a while. And so I wanted to make it known that, you may not even know that somebody's trying to get a hold to you with all this hacking going on. People are forwarding people's phone calls, and it's quite easy to do. So pay attention when you see this stuff going on. I get phone calls all the time from the phone. Just they're all like spam calls. So I didn't think about it because I don't get any calls from that phone. But now they've got my new number. That part is okay. But just keep in mind, because if they're doing this with the police with their cases, who's doing it with people privately, like with me, like with what happened? Because this isn't private. This is with my manager from my apartment complex. So I've seen this happen when I've called certain people. So I see the pattern. And I'll be happy to tell law enforcement. One of it was Project Veritas. Now when I did call the show for James and they did answer, and I don't know if they got my message, if they gave him my message or not, but I do know that there are times when I tried to call Project Veritas because he says, call me if you got tips, right? So I tried to call up there, and I keep getting these clown messages. Like they're, people hollering, oh, I'm the president now. Things that are not lining up with professionalism and with stuff that was going on. And I've been hacked for a long time. People stay hacking my stuff. So that's not me getting on my soapbox. That's me telling the events, because this is serious stuff that has to do with legal issues. And this is actually obstruction. So if somebody's preventing the police from contacting you by hacking in your phone, it's actually obstruction of justice. And they can be criminally charged for it. So this is not a get on your soapbox type of thing. This is a legality that can actually get people hurt and killed. So there's no confusion here, and cost them millions of dollars in damages because the police may be trying to get a hold of them to maybe give their kid to them, or to give them property, or to serve them with, different types of things that have to do not just with people, but with anything that involves the court. So this is a serious issue for the people that are hollering, oh, get off your soapbox. This is, again, this is stuff that can really cause harm and damage with God's love. God bless America. Have a blessed day. Back the badge and support the Purple Gang.